For my 2020 Silverado, we're going to be adding some subs underneath the rear of my seat. My wife does not know about it yet, and she's filming me right now. If you guys could just see her reaction.
Actually, in today's video, we'll be installing the Lynxwell extra large head unit along with 4 8-inch subwoofers in a custom enclosed box that fits under the back seat of my truck and a 2000 watt amp by Skar audio.
But the cool thing about this box is it should fit snug, nice and neat right under the rear seat. You won't even notice it's there. 4 8-inch subs is the option that I went with, but you can also go with 2 10s or 2 12s. There's a couple different options out there for the custom box. These are entry-level subwoofers, so they come at a pretty decent budget price. And we're gonna install that with the RP2000 Skar amplifier also. So this box is ported and comes wired with the inputs right here in the back. Nice carpeting, nothing's peeling, everything looks pretty professional looking in my opinion. It looks pretty nice. So we're gonna be putting these 8-inch subwoofer grills where my kids' feet go so that they don't kick it. I got 4 of these. We're gonna put these on the speakers as well.
So this is the Lynxwell head unit. It replaces the stock head unit that comes in the Silverado and Sierras. It's pretty big. It's a 15.5 inches, so it's a huge upgrade over the stock head unit. Let's go ahead and turn it on. I'm gonna go through the pros and the cons of what I think about it at the end of the video, but I just want to show you what it looks like and what it's capable of. So once I start the truck up, this is kind of the boot up screen. This is Google Play, so if you're familiar with Google, it has these apps here, and everything is touch screen. You can also use the knob down here. I sort of like using the knob, but as you can see, it's logging into Bluetooth. I have an Apple iPhone, so it's connecting to Apple CarPlay, and just like that, my CarPlay is ready to go. So I can go ahead and put whatever I want on my phone. It'll show up on the screen, or I can navigate it here, touch screen. I use Spotify for my music, but you can use Apple, Pandora, SoundCloud, or whatever music player you use, and it's gonna show up here. And then this is what the maps looks like up there. So it's, yeah, everything's touch screen. You can move it around, start and stop here. I can still use the controls on the steering wheel as well, or I can still use the controls on my phone. Everything sort of works well together. So yeah, that's what it looks like. I pretty much stay on the CarPlay screen. As soon as I log in, the CarPlay pops up, and I never really go back to the Google part. But if you hit the home screen and you go to the Google part, one useful part is the sound effects. You can come in here and hit your EQ. I mostly listen to EDM and hip-hop music and some rock. I am trying to get into country, so if you guys have any song recommendations, go ahead, leave them in the comment below and help me out, you guys. But yeah, mostly this is my EQ setting. I keep it on pop like this. I go like slightly up here a little bit, but yeah, here's the EQ, and you can adjust the fade and the balance and some stuff right here. So this part is pretty helpful. If I turn my hotspot on my phone and I turn the Wi-Fi on under the settings, see I'm connected to my phone on my hotspot. Another cool thing is that you can actually go to like Netflix. It has a bunch of other apps. I guess YouTube is probably the main one I use. Let's go like this. So it's pretty cool. You can actually watch videos while you're driving. Just by connecting to the hotspot on your phone. You click on that YouTube app. You know, you can't do that on CarPlay, but with this head unit, you're able to do it with the Google Android system. So I kind of like having both. You can kind of use things that you like from both systems. But for the most part, I'm usually staying here on the CarPlay. This knob turns on and off the sound. You can skip here, or you can also use the steering wheel. All of the functions work. If you swipe it over here, now this is the climate control, so you can actually click on that climate button. It'll bring up a picture of the truck. You can do it this way, or I usually just, you know, prefer looking at the CarPlay like this, like this. So if I need to turn up my AC, I turn the knob. That's the new climate control, or I click it and it's going to go up and down on the temperature. You can see the temperature changing here. this knob does the driver's side, and then to do the passenger side, you'll have to actually touch screen it. But, oh, and I'm receiving a phone call from the wife, so let me go ahead and answer that really quick, get right back to you guys. Hey, what's up, babe?
Hey, are you home?
I'm filming a video for my Apple CarPlay right now in the Sprouts parking lot, and you just called perfect timing so I can show how to use the answer the phone function. So thank you for that.
Okay. Perfect. All right, never mind then.
Okay. Bye. So that's how that function works. And then right under the steering wheel here, I have another knob that they installed at the stereo shop. So if I need to adjust the bass, I just reach down here and I turn this knob. You know, everything's within reach with my right hand right here. I want to show you guys how crazy these subs are. When I turn this up,
oh damn, y'all done fucked up. This beating hitting like Bruce Lee with the nunchucks. For the courtroom judge us, please. The wrong way, don't rub us. Fuck you. When it's beef, I eat cow. You ain't got chicken but kitchen seats.
So yeah, this thing bumps, dude. These 4.8s are crazy. I feel like I'm in high school all over again. Just yeah, you feel it. You feel that bass in your chest. These 8s are bumping. There's one huge con that I don't like about this head unit, and it's in regards to the backup camera. And there's two problems with it. I think the field of vision is too narrow, and then the trajectory lines do not work. So the stock head unit on this thing, I was able to back up into spots perfectly within centimeters using those trajectory lines. Let me go ahead and show you what it looks like. It's functional, and I'm still able to park and reverse into parking spots, but it's not as good as the stock head unit was as far as the backup camera. I think it's because of the aspect ratio on this thing. It's not the same aspect ratio. It's, you know, narrow and tall versus the stock head unit, which was horizontal more. So I think it's something to do with that, and then it just distorts the camera slightly and the lines don't work. Let me go ahead and put it in reverse and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So this is the view. The sensors still work. I don't have the parking lines on right now. You can go ahead and add them, although they don't help. This is just a stationary parking line, and then the trajectory lines here, which do turn when you turn the wheel, but they're not helpful. Let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. With the trajectory lines on, I'll try and reverse to the other side of the parking lot here. You know, it still works. I'm doing it, but if I want to park perfectly in between those spots here, let's see if I turn those lines, it's saying I should make it, right? I'm overshooting it now. Oh, you see they jumped back to overshooting it. I'm way into the second spot. So those trajectory lines did not work at all. But yeah, the backup camera kind of sucks. It works. I'm making it work. But that's my biggest complaint. The price point on this head unit, the camera and the trajectory lines should work flawlessly. If not equally as good as the stock unit, it should be better, as I'm paying for an upgrade, right? This is an upgrade. So the camera should be better, the trajectory should be better, not worse. It's worse than the head unit on the stock one. So overall, the Lynxwell head unit and the amp and the subs that I got from Skar are a huge upgrade. It sounds way better. It looks way better. Having the wireless Bluetooth that connects to CarPlay instantly, it starts up and it works flawlessly, is huge. It's a big upgrade. I wish the backup camera was slightly better, but I still think it's worth it. It's definitely still an upgrade over the stock unit. There's another company out there that makes a big screen head unit like this, but it's coming overseas. So I wasn't quite sure how the customer support was going to be. Lynxwell has a factory here in Southern California, about 30 minutes from me. So I figure if I have any problems with this, I can go talk to them face to face and talk to somebody in person or call them up, and know that they're on the same time zone as me, and I'm able to communicate with them. So that's why I went with the Lynxwell over the other one. I will have a link to everything in the description, the head unit, the amp I used, the grills, the subs, everything in the description below. I don't get any kickback from those links, but it's just to help you guys out. And if you did make it to this part of the video, I appreciate you guys. One thing you can do for me is just give this video a comment or a like. Make sure to subscribe. All those things help with the YouTube algorithm, obviously. But yeah, I just wanted to share my interior of the Silverado. I do a lot of exterior mods, but there hasn't been a lot of interior things, and this was a huge upgrade. The sound system makes it sort of feel like a fresh truck all over again. So it was a pretty nice upgrade that I wanted to share with you guys. I haven't posted anything in a little while, but this one I felt like it was worthy of sharing. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great week. Peace. I'll remind you guys, like I usually do, get outside, stay hydrated, and keep on moving.